Every kid has a great story to tell. Have one? Well, we're listening. Send your best story to the New Indian Express's Bookworm Junior Summer Stories Contest, and you could just end up becoming an author over the summer. What are you waiting for? Get writing.
Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. Take your first step toward a future in excellence.
Good evening and welcome to the New Indian Express's Let's Debate. This is India's largest inter-school virtual debate competition. We're at the business end of things. We're moving into the last few debates for this season, and we're super excited because we've got diversity that is very reflective of India. We have students from all across the country, and we're very excited to hear them talk to us about what they feel about today's motion. Today's motion, as most of you will realize, is something that is very, very contentious and in the news today. That's right. The motion today is ancient Indian science has achieved more than modern Indian research. That's right. Ancient Indian science has achieved more than modern Indian research. Now, let me remind you that all of our student debaters today had prepared for both sides, and we just told them 5 minutes ago which side they're going to argue on. So they're also gearing up to tell you what their views on the topic are. And to judge them today, we're very excited to have with us Professor A.B. Ota, who's the Director cum Special Secretary of the SEST-RTI, which is probably one of the oldest tribal research institutes in Orissa. He's a 2000 batch IAS officer. He's a very, very senior bureaucrat, and his expertise lies in social anthropology, developmental anthropology, and tribal studies. Let me also tell you that he's the author of over 30 books, and we're very, very honored to have such a well-read and thorough bureaucrat with us today. Thank you so much for being with us, Professor Ota.
Thank you so much.
And from inside the New Indian Express family, I'm very happy to invite our sports editor, Indraneel Das. Indraneel, of course, has been with the New Indian Express for almost a decade now, and he has over 2 decades of sports experience. He's the man who's interviewed every single sports star in India, and he's covered Olympics in Beijing, London, and Rio, and he's been to Sydney, Manchester, and I could go on and on about his travels. But all I can tell you is his forte doesn't just lie on the sports field, it also lies in great public speaking. Thank you, Indraneel, for being with us. It's a real pleasure.
And all the best.
All right. Well, guys, you know which side of the field that you fall on. So without further ado, let's dive straight into our topic and let's debate. Ancient Indian science has achieved more than modern Indian research. What do you have to say? Well, let me invite our first speaker for the motion, Srushti M. Kakalmeli. Srushti, if you're ready to go, when you hear the buzzer, your time will begin and you get 4 minutes on the clock.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Srushti Kakalmeli from class 9th, Indi, RM Shah Public School, Indi, Taluk Indi, Bijapur District, Karnataka State. Topic for today is ancient Indian science achieved more than modern Indian research. Science never solved problem without creating 10 more. The important thing is to create question. So without further delay, let's begin. To prove that ancient Indian science have achieved more than modern science, we have so many examples. For example, dentistry, it was first made in India, and even Ayurveda, it was also first experienced in India. First plastic surgery was also made in India, and in ancient India, they said that Earth's orbit, about Earth's orbit, they said that Earth revolve around the sun. Not only Earth, all the planets revolve around the sun, and even satellites. For example, Moon revolve around its planet. Moon revolves around Earth. In Surya Siddhanta, they calculated the speed of time. In ancient India, it was really very difficult to calculate, but even though they were talented and they have calculated. We have listened the number 108, which is really common in India. It's because the distance between the ratio of the diameter of the sun and the distance between the sun and the earth is 108. Not only with the sun, even with the moon. The diameter of the moon and the distance between the earth and the moon is 108. It was discovered in ancient India. We must appreciate them for this because it was really very dangerous, not dangerous, it was difficult. Without having telescope and other mechanisms, they calculated the diameter of the sun and the moon, the distance between the sun and the earth, the distance between the moon and the earth. It was according to geometry. And again, in some temples, for example, Hampi, the chariot we all have seen. The chariot, when the chariot moves, in that time, it is written in books that the walls glows and it gives light. By this, we can conclude that we can say that they converted kinetic energy to electric energy. And even in not only in Hampi, in other temples, there were some moving parts which it was rotating. They converted kinetic energy to electric energy. We can say that by this they were really talented and they achieved more things than modern India. Without having any technology, they invented these things and it was really difficult for them, but even they were talented. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. To kick off proceedings for the opposition house, may I now invite Samat Saxena from Genesis Public School. Samat, if you're good to go, your time starts.
Good evening to the House at large. This is Team Opposition for the motion. Ancient Indian science achieved more than modern Indian research. And being the first speaker of the Team Opposition, we think we do not believe in the motion. And Team Opposition believes that modern Indian research has achieved so much in the fields of science and technology. Individuals like Dr. C.V. Raman, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Dr. Srinivasa Ramanujan, and Professor Prafulla Chandra Rai are great examples which led modern India towards excellence. And how can you forget the famous Indian organizations like ISRO, which is the Indian Space Research Organization, and IIT, Indian Institutes of Technology. And what India have done in the modern era can't be done by every single other country. So firstly, we need to emphasize some significant contributions of the modern Indian research. So, and yeah, not forgetting that it's not only in one field, it's in several fields. And modern Indian scientists have reached the pinnacle of achievements in the fields of astronomy, medical, physics, maths, and technology. So, starting with Dr. C.V. Raman, who was awarded the 1930 Nobel Prize in Physics for his discovery of the Raman effect about the light scattering. And through an article by SCIR Net at the Scoop webpage, we get to know that Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose, the man who found life in plants through crescograph, who detected small motions in plant tissues. He not only gave modern India a big achievement, but he gave a big impact into world physics and world biology. And yeah, through his amazing experiments and through his amazing research. And how can we forget Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man of India, who developed ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. And amazing scientists and successful individuals like them have not only been successful in our nation, India, but also in the entire world, in the whole world. And from the Economic Times section of Indian Times e-newspaper, we get to know that Professor B. Ananthanarayan, the chairman of CHEP at Indian Institutes of Science, has said Indian physicists are now more integrated into international physics than a decade ago. They are more integrated now, and that means there's a rapid development in modern era. And also, in the successful modern era, not only men have flourished, but also women. Dr. Aditi Pant was the first Indian woman to visit Antarctica to study oceanography and geology. And according to the India Education Network, Dr. Tessie Thomas, Missile Lady, is known for her successful launch of Agni series of missiles. And there are many women who are also known for many things, many achievements in medicines. And as there was another lady from the Scientific Women Network, and she also practiced Western medicines in the USA. And also ISRO launched the first Indian satellite in the modern era in 1975 by the very famous name Aryabhat. And India is the only country to reach Mars in its first attempt through the 2014 Mangalyaan. So what Team Opposition believes is that yes, ancient Indian science had many achievements, uh, but they were the harbingers, and what the modern scientist has done is unbelievable, and they have reached the pinnacle of heights which the ancient scientists couldn't. So yeah, both were great, but what we believe is that modern Indian scientists have done so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samat. That was on the dot. Could I now invite to speak for the motion Kashyap Tiwari? Kashyap, if you're good to go, your time starts on the beep.
As said by Albert Einstein, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. Good afternoon, respected judges and my dear friends. Many of us do have modern thoughts and do pose opposing views on the statement, ancient Indian science has achieved more than modern Indian research. But I am for the topic, as I completely believe that ancient science is the roots on which today's science has evolved. Ancient science has helped in achieving harmony in one's life by indicating the time of day and night, seasons, and final study of mind through yoga. I would now like to highlight the achievements of ancient India in different fields of science. In physics, the most important achievement was about laws of motion and the theory of gravity. All of us are aware of the great physicist from England on whose head fell an apple, and then he came up with the law of gravity. Yes, it's not then Sir Isaac Newton. The world believes that Newton was the first one to talk about gravitational concepts, but the first principle of gravity was stated by Bhaskaracharya in his book Surya Siddhanta in the 11th century. Also, the laws of motion were stated by an Indian scientist, Rishi Kanada, who had given Vashika Sutra in 600 BCE, the relationship between force and motion. Other achievements in this field involve Vishwamitra, the inventor of missiles, sound frequency, etc. Next in line is medical science. Indian medicine has a great history. Its earlier concepts are set in the sacred writings called the Vedas. Among India's many claims in the ancient medical science is Ayurveda. This is a healing method that relies on herbs as medicines for maintaining a good health. This 5,000-year-old system originated in the ancient India during the Vedic culture. Its medical practices are enjoying resurgence both in its native land and throughout the world. Another term, yoga, which is linked with Ayurveda, had its origin 4,000 years ago in the northern India and thus is an integral part of ancient Indian science. Yoga is scientifically proven and it acts as a shield not only for the heart problems, but also during the lockdown. It was very helpful for people to take them out of problems like stress, anxiety, and other mental illnesses. Yoga can cure people from those diseases which antibiotics also cannot. I know many of us don't like to do yoga because we have to wake up early in the morning, stretch our hands and legs, but I promise that I'll start from today. Anyways, getting back to the topic, talking about the achievements of ancient Indian science and not mentioning about the discovery of zero is like a bridge nowhere. Brahmagupta was the one who discovered the numerical digit zero. The discovery of zero was the greatest abstraction of human mind, and it will not be wrong to say that this discovery was revolutionary in mathematics. It gave the ability to a common man to compute mathematics. Before the discovery of zero, mathematicians faced a lot of problems even to solve a simple arithmetic equation. But nowadays, zero both as a concept and as a numerical digit has helped us in doing calculus, solving complicated equations, and is the basis of computer. The development of zero over minds, centuries, and continents have made it the greatest accomplishments of human society. Not only this, but to further increase our math syllabus, ancient Indian mathematicians have made seminal contributions in the study of trigonometry, algebra, arithmetic, and other areas. The present world is unaware of the facts and contributions of ancient India in the field of science and technology. The causes of deterioration in India's strengths and discoveries is that most of its invention and ideas were either stolen, destroyed, or improperly documented. Many of the ancient texts were translated into English, German, and carefully kept in the British libraries. Instead of honoring the geniuses of India, they superseded and minimized the ancient glory of India and documented it in their own names. The foreign invaders were free to utilize India's heritage for their so-called scientific discoveries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was extremely well put, Kashyap. Let me now invite to speak against the motion Jivika Srivastava from Kanpur. Jivika.
Good evening, sir. I am Jivika Srivastava from class 9th and I am from Omkareshwar Saraswati Vidya Niketan Inter College, Kanpur. And I am against this motion. And the topic is ancient Indian science has achieved more than modern Indian researchers. Now I am going to start. In our modern India, our India accepts a new standard definition of kg, mole, and Kelvin. And if we don't know about this, then we are unable to solve math problems which are related to this. And a new study in modern India explains how the human brain recognizes a jumbled words. And in our modern India, by modern Indian researchers, zebrafish is used in restoring lost vision, which is only possible by modern Indian researchers. And scientists discover a new anti-cancer bioactive compound from bacteria by using their modern researches. So it is very helpful and great achievement. ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, launches a young scientist program in India for students. It's also a great achievement. And Chandrayaan 2 and Gaganyaan mission was also the great achievement of modern Indian researchers. And we will really appreciate that. And the modern India researchers also tells that how the tuberculosis bacteria activates HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. The toxic relationship between lead and immunity was was discovered by modern India researchers, and it is a great achievement of modern India. And in ancient times, the mother has to clean the roofs by using broom sticks. And nowadays, vacuum cleaner is available for this purpose, and it is only possible by modern Indian researchers. And in old days, our mothers has to wash all the clothes by using their hands, and nowadays, washing machine is available for this purpose, and it can be only possible by modern Indian researchers. And we are nowadays using smartphones, which are also a great achievement of modern Indian researchers, and it is a very helpful thing. And I know ancient Indian science is also a great, I'm not telling anything about it, but modern Indian researchers has a great achievement. In fact, modern Indian has done a great achievement in comparison to ancient Indian science. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jivika. Could I now invite to speak for the opposition, for the motion, Pratyusha Udupa? If you're good to go, your time is now.
Hello everyone, I'm Pratyusha Udupa and I'm from Purna Pragna Education Center, Sadashivnagar, Bangalore. The term ancient itself looks so debatable, right? So even before starting the topic, I would like to define that according to me, the term before 15th century is ancient, and throughout the debate, that will be my reference. Before the pandemic, when I visited temples of Beluru and Halebeedu, I was stunned by the architectural wonders. It was surprising that these temples were built at around 11th century. I couldn't agree more with saying old is gold. Yes, I am here to share my thoughts and ideas that why I believe ancient Indian science has achieved more than modern Indian research. Vaijnanikascha Kapila Kanada Shushrutastha Charako Bhaskaracharyo Varaha Mihira Sudhihi Nagarjuno Bharadwaja Aryabhatto Basurbadaha Jeyo Venkataramascha Vignya Ramanujadayaha. Great Indian scientist list can go on and on. Einstein once said, "We owe a lot to Indians as they have taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been possible." Just imagine if Aryabhatta hadn't given the concept of zero to the world, there would be no millionaires or billionaires. Aryabhatta, in his book Aryabhatiya, correctly propounded that the earth rotates on its own axis and revolves around the sun. He also made predictions of the solar and lunar eclipses. Kanada devised the atomic theory. he speculated the existence of Anu, or small indivisible particles. The modern day science revolves around this basic foundation that was set up by Kanada centuries ago. The Sushruta Samhita is considered one of the most comprehensive textbooks on ancient surgery. The text mentions various cures and illnesses along with complex techniques of plastic surgery. It was we Indians who came up with the idea of plastic surgery, which helped many people get back their lost organs. We were the ones who gave life to so many people. The Sushruta Samhita's most well-known contribution towards plastic surgery is the reconstruction of the nose. There are also contributions towards cataract surgery. Sushruta used a curved needle to remove cataract out of the field of vision. The eye would then be bandaged for a few days until it healed completely. Till today, we use the same method to cure patients with cataract, and it is known as a promising method. Nagarjuna is said to have invented a method in making an element with gold-like shine. Till date, this technology is known as imitation jewelry. Bhaskaracharya wrote the book Siddhanta Shiromani and Leelavati. He introduced the Chakravala method, or the cyclic method, to solve algebraic equations. This method was later discovered 6 centuries later. Binary numbers are a set of 2 numbers that are used to write computer programs. This was mentioned by Pingala in his book Chanda Shastra. Without these basic foundations, we couldn't have developed computers. I could go on and on and on as the ancient Indians possessed the knowledge which was phenomenal. They gave contribution towards various fields such as Ayurveda, yoga, mathematics, metallurgy, and much more. In a nutshell, ancient Indians contributed more and have put up a strong base so that any modern technology could be built upon such a strong base. When the Western world was still evolving, India had civilizations with great scientific discoveries. Hope that we make the best use of our ancient knowledge and emerge as a developed nation soon. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. That was extremely well put, Pratyusha. May I now invite to speak against the motion Anugraha Ashok.
There is a famous quote: research is creating knowledge. This is a quote of Neil Armstrong. This is a quote of Neil Armstrong that the research is creating new knowledge. Yes, a very warm good evening to all. I'm Anugraha Ashok of class 9B in GVHSS Chunakara. Today, I will be speaking against the motion. India is a land of numerous brilliant brains, those who are enormously contributing all the spheres for the development and the prosperity. The contributions of the modern research is greater than the ancient science. India has the second largest group of scientists and engineers in the world. In the context of the technological and the scientific achievements, the Indian scientists have developed several projects which contribute to the world in the numerous ways. Another important thing is that this in the achievement of India in the field of IT and the technology or the software was highly recognized by the whole world. Then another important thing, the ISRO. The ISRO boosts our pride and dignity beyond the horizons. The ISRO boosts the dignity and the pride beyond the horizons. ISRO is very busy with some prestigious the prestigious ongoing projects which shall come to the reality in the nearer future. ISRO is contributing millions of millions contributing. The contributions of the ISRO cannot be said. The ISRO is contributing millions to the Indian economy to its services. The ISRO is also the finest example for the India's rapid growth in the modern Indian research field. Another important thing, India is among the few countries which have developed ballistic missiles. Scientific researches conducted in India transformed the way of healing and eradicating the deadly diseases. The polio vaccine has been used very effectively to eradicate the childhood disabilities. The India's moon probe was first effectively or efficiently inserted to the moon's soil or the moon's orbit in 2008 and also pushed the India to the world. And the India's status or the India's space program was same as the NASA and the European Space Agency. C.V. Raman is the most famous scientist, is one of the most famous scientists of India. He got Nobel Prize, he won Nobel Prize in 1930 for the Raman effect. And also, the Chandrayaan's achievement includes the discovery of the extensive water presence in the lunar soil. Thus, we can understand that the the modern Indian research achieved more than the ancient science. In this moment, I just remember and I recollect the scientists who worked relentlessly for the modern Indian research, the scientists who worked relentlessly for the growth of the nation, and also the scientists, the contributions and the works of the scientists helped our Mother India to stand straight in its own legs. Thus, we can say that the modern Indian research achieved more than the ancient science. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Anugraha. That was extremely put. I know ISRO will be very happy to hear some of those embellishments. Could I now call upon Ashwati Kuntia to also speak against the motion?
Good afternoon, everyone. I myself, Ashwati Kuntia of class 9th from the school Odisha Adarsha Vidyalaya, Ghatkan, Tikira, and I am here for present my point of views on the topic. And since ancient Indian science has achieved more than that of modern Indian science research. So I am against the topic here. And as we all know that modern Indian science has developed many things like the Mangal orbiting mission was successful for the first time. In the first attempt, the Chandrayaan 1. It was the first exploration mission of India, and it was also successful. And the diabetic surgery in the medical science, it was also very helpful in curing the diabetes patients and many things which are given by the modern Indian research. For example, the indigenous seeker, that's Brahmos, that was also successful. So ancient Indian research is also the root of the science of Indian nation. But I think the modern Indian research is also very good, and it also provided many things like wireless communication and many astrological developments, etc. So according to me, it's more than that of ancient Indian science. So I'd conclude my speech here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ashwati. Could I now invite Meenakshi to speak for the motion, please?
Respected judges and dear friends, good evening. This is P. Meenakshi from Jimna School, and I'm here to talk about ancient Indian science achieved more than modern Indian research. There is no doubt that modern Indian scientists have done great work in various fields like physics, maths, biology, etc. Professor Sir C.V. Raman and Subramanian Chandrasekhar won the Nobel Prize for Physics. Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, Professor S.N. Bose, Professor Jagdish Chandra Bose, Dr. Homi Baba, Srinivasa Ramanujam, C.N.R. Rao and Vishwesvaraya are some names which readily come to our mind when we talk about modern Indian scientists. However, when we compare the modern research work with the achievements of ancient Indians, we can see that ancient Indians excelled in almost all fields, considering the fact that the facilities available to them were nothing compared to the modern times. Now, let us just look into some of the contributions of ancient Indian scientists. Mathematician Aryabhatta created a symbol for zero, and the concept of zero has become very, very important in maths and science, as we all know. There is an interesting story regarding this. Once during the British rule, there was a party in London in which many educated English and Indian gentlemen took part. An Indian engineer struck with a conversation with Bednar Shah, the famed English writer who happened to be present there. the Indian talked about the various major technological advances made by the British. Every time he mentioned a major technological feat achieved by the British, Bernard Shaw replied, "Yeah, but Indians gave nothing." This went for some time, and the Indian felt insulted. Bernard Shaw judged his feelings and pacified him by saying, "When I said nothing, I meant zero. The concept of zero is much more important than all British inventions you just mentioned." The numerical notations, the decimal system and the binary system, which forms the basic language for modern computers, were all introduced by Indians. Aryabhatta propounded the theory that the earth is round, rotates on its own axis, and revolves around the sun. In fact, some words used in Indian languages for planets and stars are golems and andams, which means spherical or egg-shaped bodies. The atomic theory was also propounded by the Indian scientist Kennard. Ancient Indians also made excellent rulers for making linear measurements accurately. Iron, copper, and smelling was done by advanced techniques. Wood steel or ukul was produced by the Tamils by heating magnetite ore in the presence of carbon, and this steel was used to make the Damascus swords. According to records, Alexander received a large quantity of wood steel from Porus as gift. Indians excelled in the medical field also. As we all know, Sushruta Samhita, a textbook of 6th century BC, tells us about complex techniques of plastic surgery, especially for reconstruction of nose. Sushruta is said to have performed the first cataract surgery also. Even the Vedas have a separate section for medicine. Ayurveda has been used for curing illness from time immemorial and is still being used in India. Uses of ginger, turmeric, commonly used even by the illiterate rural women of India, are still being analyzed by the Westerners, and their extracts are being sold in by the Westerners in capsules by allopaths. Apart from the ancient texts on science, we can also learn a lot from the stories contained in our Puranas and Itihasas. The Dasavadaram stories tells us the Darwin's theory of evolution, forms of Earth, life forms on Earth. So, if we take an overall view, we can easily see that ancient Indian science achieved more than modern Indian research. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meenakshi. There's some fantastic research in there, and I know each one of those bits is a story by itself. Could I now invite our last speaker of the day, Anish? Anish, if you're good to go.
Good evening to one and all present here. I'm Anish from PSCB Senior Secondary School, KK Nagar, Chennai, to talk against the motion ancient Indian science achieved more than modern Indian research. Wood steel was produced by the Tamils of the Chera dynasty. The finest steel of the ancient world were made by heating black magnetite ore in presence of carbon in a steel clay crucible kept in a charcoal furnace. However, the method of making this steel was kept as a secret so that the other dynasties would not benefit from knowing to make this steel. This paves way for my very first constructive ancient Indian science were most secretive. Economic realities compelled craftsmen to keep the secrets of arts guarded from public view. There was in fact no motive which would encourage experimenters to share their attained knowledge with others. Therefore, most of the developments of the ancient science could not benefit all people. But as time passed, the developments of scientific journals and patents shifted power from those who kept secrets to those who told secrets. And the modern scientific research is more open and aims at developing the community as a whole. My second constructive, ancient science made people ignorant. Early science was rooted with mysticism and magic. Ancient scientists' inability to explain certain chemical phenomena gave the profession as a mysterious and a magical power. Vedas and ancient science were more spiritual than material. There were no scientific explanation, and plenty were baseless statements that are still unproved. A lot of people blindly believed them, and this proved as a roadblock for ancient science. Hence, even if ancient science couldn't have been effective, this spiritual influence hindered any actual development. Therefore, it was only modern research that threw light upon the darkness of ignorance of people. Scientific research is a critical tool for successfully navigating a complex world. Without it, we'll be forced to rely on people's intuition and other people's authority and blind luck. My third constructive, science is constantly evolving. The very nature of science is that it evolves and adapts into new information and inventions and discoveries. This means that more things can be better observed. For example, time and tides. Ancient people never had the scientific tools that we have to do, like electron microscope or similar tools. They can only philosophize and make assumptions, being unable to prove or test some of their theories. My fourth constructive, ancient Indian scientists had the inability to perform repeated testing. Ancient India did not have the resources or opportunities to perform and hence prove some of the experiments and theories. So whatever few men learned became science. In modern science overcomes this as people have the opportunity to recreate the conditions under which a test was carried out and check the experimental inferences for themselves. The scientific method brings the idea that you must test your theories and revise them to fit the new data. It creates a cycle of revision and improvement and allows blatantly wrong data to be weeded out quickly and makes the working theories become even more accurate. My fifth constructive, ancient science lacked precision. Ancient science was not very precise. For example, if an ancient Indian physician identifies a herb for treating a certain disease, that will be a part of the scientific knowledge at that time. But now modern science will ask more questions on mechanisms involved. For example, the exact ID of the chemical which is acting on the disease, etc. The newer technology, for example, laser surgery, makes it less risky for humans and other animals to undergo certain projects compared to the risk they had been exposed had the surgeon been a human. A laser is less likely to nick a nerve during a heart surgery since it is 1,000 times steadier than a human hand. Around 100 years ago, people lived to the age of 30 on average. Now more people are reaching their 100th birthday. So what's the secret to the aging world? Aging well. It was only modern research that increased the life expectancy of people. Panel, today I've proved to you how ancient Indian science was most secretive and did not aim at developing a community as a whole, how ancient Indian science made people ignorant, how ancient Indian science lacked precision and proofs. Clearly from all these arguments, I think it's very clear that modern research achieved more than ancient Indian science. For all these reasons, supremely proud to oppose.
Emphatically put, Anish. Thank you very much. And that brings us to the end of the first round. I think everybody did phenomenally well. It was a very heated sort of debate. Everybody was very passionate. And this is particularly, it's very inculcative for me because I realized that, you don't always believe the motion, which side of the motion you're on. But to be able to infuse this kind of self-belief is extremely phenomenal. Congratulations, guys. Without further ado, we're going to go very quickly into our second round, which is 2-minute rebuttals. Everybody gets one shot at a rebuttal. So you can address multiple points made by the opposition, or you can address just a single speaker. That's entirely up to you. But remember, make it at one shot and make it count. All right? We're going to follow the same order that we went with. Could I now ask, Shruti, would you like to make a rebuttal?
Okay, sir. So one question I have, why there is a need to compare between the modern Indian science and ancient Indian science? Is there any necessity? And according to the view, according to point of view, which is better? Which sector is better? Ancient Indian science is better or modern science is better? And why? I need the reason. Thank you, sir.
Could I now ask Samarth? Samarth, do you have a rebuttal to make?
So for the rebuttal speech, I would like to mention some points which we like to argue on. Firstly, the first speaker mentions inventions, many inventions of Ayurvedas and medical inventions. But don't you think those Ayurvedas and everything were created, but then they are used for curing diseases and converting them into vaccines in the modern era? All the inventions, all the achievements are done in the modern era using the Ayurvedas. Yes, it was originally made over there in the ancient period, but now it is so highly achieved in the modern era by the modern doctors, scientists, and physicians. And also the third speaker mentioned about old temples being gold and old being gold. But what do you think that that old is gold till date, because it is fertilized, it is taken care even after so many centuries using the technology of the modern era. And then the third speaker also talked about them making old temples without technology because they couldn't even create that technology to create temples. They didn't have the making of technology at that time, and we have it now. So that's an advantage. And also to mention in the rebuttal speech that all civilizations in the past, like Indus Valley, had all collapsed because of many myths mentioned of Aryan attacks, of fire incidents, or climate change. Because if they would have had good technology or good solutions, good ideas or good achievements to tackle them, there would have been no collapsing. And now we have achieved so much that I firmly believe that modern Indian research have achieved more than the ancient Indian science. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samarth. Could I now ask Kashyap? Kashyap, do you have a rebuttal for us?
Okay, so first speaker mentioned that math, in the starting of his speech, he mentioned many things like modern Indian research has done many things in astronomy, maths and all that. But do you think in maths achievements could have been made without the discovery of zero and decimal system? That's my first question. Then Ashwati mentioned one thing of diabetic surgeries. Nowadays, surgeries and all, which will also be my answer for Samarth also when he asked Ayurveda is used in today's time to make antibiotics. But nowadays, antibiotics are causing very side effects, and it's scientifically proven also. If we do yoga and take, homemade, like if we got any hurt, we keep healthy on it. That's the homemade solution, or a part of Ayurveda, you can say. Nowadays, antibiotics are having very side effects. And also, Ashwati said that wireless communication is one of the achievements of modern Indian research. But nowadays, many people are misusing it by door-to-door talk. Like, I'm in one room, the other person is another room and is talking to me. That's, I think, not an achievement. Adding to the point that Ayurveda is used in today's time to make vaccines, then why is the COVID vaccine still not effective? That's my counter question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Could I now ask Jivika, do you have a rebuttal for us?
Yes, sir. I have a question that why we are comparing ancient Indian science with modern Indian researchers. Both had done great achievements, so there is no need to compare all of them. But I can tell that in ancient times, we are using Ayurveda, but in modern India, the scientists had done a lot of researches by which there is no need of Ayurveda. But I'm not saying this Ayurveda is bad. Both are completely good, but I have thought that modern Indian researchers had done better achievements. That's all.
Thank you so much, Jivika. Could I now ask Pratyusha if you have a rebuttal for us?
So I would like to question the last speaker, as he mentioned that many of the things in ancient India was kept as a secret, right? The main reason for that was, just imagine if one thing, like suppose any thing was known to everyone, then they were scared that they could use it for the destruction of the mankind also. That's why they used to select shishyas, that is the students, so that they used to select shishyas so that they use the technology only for the betterment of the mankind. That's why they didn't tell it to everyone, because they were scared if they use it for the destruction of mankind. Like, see, suppose a modern technology is available to everyone, and now everyone's are producing these bombs and all that, and they're using it for the destruction of mankind. That's why we kept it as a secret, and we had a good intention also. And one more thing, people mention about the proofs also, right? There are proofs in ancient Indian science also, but the thing was they were all written in Sanskrit. So in Sanskrit, it's like, they write it on a meter. So even if you make the thing a little bit around, it gives a completely different meaning. And that the thing is that we are not able to understand what those people have written. So we can't tell that there was no proofs itself, right? And one more, now I would like to answer the questions which my friends opposed me for. So they asked, why do I tell old is gold, right? So see, if ancient Indians had not given such a strong foundation, then you think modern technology could be built upon such a strong foundation? Because see, suppose any building you want to make, you have to make a foundation strong, right? Without making the foundation strong, how much ever you build, it is going to fall one day, right? We ancient Indians had put such a strong foundation. It's just, you can't imagine how much strong foundation, how much contribution we gave towards the science. And one more thing, I didn't tell that to build those temples, they didn't use technology. I didn't mention that, because you can see those temples and there are like minute holes. They have done such a beautiful drillings and such beautiful carvings that I don't know whether they've done it with hand or with any machines, but they are really exceptionally beautiful.
Thank you so much, Pratyusha. Anugraha, do you have a rebuttal for us?
I have some questions. Phones, tablets, laptops, etc. are the contributions of the modern science. What will you do in the ancient science to communicate each other? This is one of my questions. Then everyone says about the concept of zero. Yes, but I want to ask that what is the value of zero? There is no value of zero. If we need value, there should be other numbers as well. So if we need value for zero, there should be other numbers as well. And also another question that I want to ask is, what was the contribution of the ancient science for the communicative systems?
Thank you so much, Anugraha. Ashwati, do you have a rebuttal for us?
So some of the participants told that the ancient dentistry is one of the greatest achievements of ancient Indian science, but I think that the ancient dentistry belongs to the Indus Valley civilization. So how can it be in the achievements of the ancient Indian science? So this was my question.
Thank you so much. Could I now ask Meenakshi, do you have a rebuttal for us?
One of the participants mentioned washing machines and smartphones were invented only in modern era. But before, the Indian women would just wash the clothes with their hand, and which was a sort of physical fitness. And smartphones nowadays children get addicted to it, and we can gain the information which we see in smartphones from the ancient text like Vedas, Puranas, and etc. Even Jatakas and Panchatantra stories, everything. And the one of the participant mentioned that the modern in ancient medicine, if ancient medicine was in there, we wouldn't have the foundation for the modern medicine. It was the base of allopathy was provided by the Ayurveda medicines, the ancient medicines. So it would have took much longer time if ancient medicines wasn't there. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Meenakshi. And finally, Anish, may I ask if you have a rebuttal for us?
The proposition came up and told us that the ancient India achieved more in medical field, but I would like to tell them that there's no solid proof for its viability or the medicines that the ancient discovered. The life expectancy was very less in ancient times because of the sheer lack of sanitation, and that people were killed during experimenting with these herbs because there were literally no other way to check the effectiveness of the medicine. The proposition also came up and gave examples of how what ancient scientists did, but failed to explain or prove why ancient Indian science achieved more than modern Indian research. The second speaker of the proposition told us that Ayurveda has less side effects, but I would like him to state the study which was conducted to prove this. The proposition also told us that ancient science was more secretive because they didn't want bad things to spread across people. In that case, even the wood steel would be a bad thing. Can you actually believe that people thought there was exploding gunpowder in the place of muscles in the ancient time? Science, before even its first remarkable discovery, was basically just myths and simply baffling thoughts and everything. Science has greatly improved with modern research, understanding, and we don't base on myths that they used to do. History was filled with examples of how very wrong we can be when we fail to recognize the need for evidence and supporting claims. At various times in history, we would have the certain that the sun revolved around a flat earth and that Earth's continents did not move, and that mental illness was caused by possession. It is to a systematic scientific research that we divest ourselves of our preconceived notions and superstitions and gain our objective understanding of ourselves and the world. For all these reasons, supremely proud of this.
Anish, I think you should take a deep breath, but I thought that was extremely well argued. We have a couple of minutes, so is there anybody who would like to respond to anything that was said? Okay, I'm going to ask Anugraha. Go ahead. 30 seconds, Anugraha. 30 seconds.
Participant said that the students are addicted for phones. Phones can be used for effectively, very effectively. Now we all are using phones. Am I correct? Now we all are using phones. We can study a lot from the phones and from the phones, laptops, etc. As students, we are having the online classes now. For that, the phones, laptops, etc. are essential. Even the television. Without these medias, the phones, laptops, or the television, we can't have our classes now. Am I correct? We can utilize the phones, laptops, tablets, etc. in a very effective manner. Thank you, sir.
Every time you said, am I correct? I was wondering whether you were a student or teacher. Gave me some goosebumps there. All right. Anybody else would like to respond to anything?
Sir, I would like to answer.
All right. 30 seconds, Srishti.
Okay, sir. One of my opponents said that Sanskrit proofs and all those things are written in Sanskrit. But even in some villages, they speak Sanskrit. They write Sanskrit. They even read Sanskrit. And even we are not getting the proofs because they are destroyed by invaders like Britishers and all those things, and all by them. So we don't get those things, proofs and all. Thank you, sir. That's my answer.
Thank you. Kashyap, 30 seconds.
One of my other friend told that what is the value of zero? Zero has a great value actually. Otherwise than 1 crore, 1 lakh, 10 rupees would mean the same. I'm talking about communication thing, mental problems, cyberbullying, prank calls. These are the things which are taking place right now. So I'm very happy that in ancient Indian science, these phones technologies was not there. They used effective methods, more effective methods than we are using today. And talking about television, we can't survive without television and phones. I think we can survive. And the online classes thing, we don't have any alternative. If we would have that, then I am sure we wouldn't use these phones.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask one last person. Who would like to go?
So I have a question.
Okay. Now I have too many one last persons. Okay. Samarth, no more questions. If you have a point, I'm going to let you make it. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. All right. Pratyusha, 20 seconds.
Yes, sir. I wanted to support my friend Kashyap as he told that cyberbullying and all that, right? The so-called modern technology has evolved so much that people are going into depression. Yeah. So what we use, see, technology is used for the betterment of the mankind. But where is the modern technology used for the betterment of the mankind? Ancient Indian technology was used only for the betterment of the mankind. It has served so much. Thank you. I just wanted to support my friend.
Thank you. One last. Somebody would like to go? One last person. Okay. All right. If that's all, then I think we've reached our natural conclusion, and that's such a rarity in a debate. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I thought that was absolutely fantabulous. Professor Ota, could I ask you to give your comments and your feedback to our young debaters today?
I can only, first of all, I must congratulate Indian Express Group for this novel initiative. I think they have kept the children engaged, during the pandemic, and probably it is an opportunity for them to enhance their capacity and to get an exposure. And, coming back to the children, I must tell you, it's very difficult to say who is better than the other. Each one of them was brilliant. In fact, it is a very difficult task to, to keep a merit list of them. If you ask me, probably I'll put all of them bracketed. You were so good. And I congratulate you all, and I wish that you will improve your, skill, learning from each other. I heard nine, boys and girls, but I can tell you, each one has a learning point to give to the other. Likewise, each one has to pick up some good points from the other. So, friends, please try to pick up the best out of your, others who spoke, but I can only say you that you have a bright future, and I wish that pandemic will, be out very soon. Will defeat pandemic, and you will come back to schools. This, e-learning will probably will take a back seat. I congratulate you again, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you so much, Professor Ota. You're absolutely right. We are listening to the voice of a whole new generation. Indra, could I ask you to say a few words to our debaters today?
I must thank you first, Daniel, for hosting this and not inviting me to be part of the debate. I don't know what would be my situation because the key very good, excellent debate. And if I were debating against them, I don't think I would stand a chance to win at all. So thank you, Seema, and all everyone who is behind this novel initiative, as a professor said. And as far as the debating goes, I think it was of very good standard, and I cannot say kids, young gentlemen and ladies argued well. And maybe one observation I made, I think the debating could have been like addressing the opposition, or to address opposition bench, maybe the treasury bench or the opposition bench could have been used more. But then it's more of a virtual meet, so I think excusable. But as far as the content diction goes, everyone contributed, each one of you, and each one of you came up with different examples, whatever way you could, whatever knowledge you have given it to all. So I must say that take the positive out of the debate and learn whatever you don't know, and whatever you know you can enhance later. So with that, I would like to thank you all and pass it on to Daniel.
Thank you so much, Indranil. Professor Ota, may I request you to announce our award winners today, our 3 awards for the day?
It's very difficult to judge, even it was difficult for both of us to take a final call. The finest point award goes to Pratyusha Uduppa.
Congratulations, Pratyusha. You win yourself a 1,000 rupee voucher from Link Pens.
Congratulations, Pratyusha.
Thank
And
you.
the counterpoint, I think we have given to S. Anis.
Congratulations, Anish. You also win yourself a 1,000 rupee voucher from Link Pens.
Congratulations, Anis. And so far as lighter side is concerned, we have decided that, Kashyap Tiwari.
Congratulations, Kashyap.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Kashyap.
Congratulations to all three of you. You win gift vouchers and they will reach you very, very soon. We hope you enjoy it. Remember, life is a series of great debates and we know that you're going to be very, very good at it. But always remember, debates deserve dignity. Debates do not deserve fighting. And I know you've displayed that perfectly and we hope that you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much, Professor Rota. Thank you very much, Indraneel. Thank you very much, all of you. We've had a fabulous time. This is the New Indian Express's Let's Debate. We'd like to thank our sponsors, MEIL and Hindustan Institute of Technology and Sciences, for making this possible. Thank you very much. We hope that you will always continue debating. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe and take care. Remember, you can vote for your favorite debater right here at www.edxlive.com/debate. Remember, every vote counts. Our voting lines are open for 48 hours, so get voting right now. This debate was brought to you by the Hindustan Institute of Technology and Sciences and MEIL. Every kid has a great story to tell. Have one? Well, we're listening. Send your best story to the New Indian Express's Bookworm Junior Summer Stories Contest and you could just end up becoming an author over the summer. What are you waiting for? Get writing.